I never told my parents I love you. Not once. I thought there would always be tomorrow, but tomorrow never came. It sounds simple, doesn't it? 3 little words. Yet somehow they were the heaviest words I could never say. Every morning I heard the same familiar sounds. The clinking of dishes as Mom made breakfast. The steady shuffle of Dad's footsteps leaving for work. They were like the background music of my life, so constant, so ordinary, that I barely noticed them. When Mom called me to the table, I often mumbled, "I'm not hungry," as I kept scrolling through my phone. When Dad asked how my day went, I answered with a shrug, eager to escape back into my room. In my head, I told myself it didn't matter. There would always be another dinner, another chance, another tomorrow. But that's the trap, isn't it? We live as if our parents are permanent, as if they'll always be there waiting, always be there caring, always be there loving us in the background. We believe there's endless time to say the things we mean, until suddenly there isn't. I remember missing call after call, watching Mom's name flash on the screen and thinking, I'll call back later. Later felt safe. Later felt guaranteed. But every later I postponed was a moment lost forever. And Dad, he used to wait up for me when I stayed out late. The light in the living room always on. His figure half asleep in the chair. I thought it was annoying then. Why couldn't he just go to bed? Now, I'd give anything to walk through that door and see him waiting one more time. It's strange how love hides in the ordinary, in the meals we ignore, in the questions we brush off, in the sacrifices we assume will never end. I thought my silence was harmless, but silence has weight. And with every day I stayed quiet, that weight grew heavier until it became unbearable. The truth is, I loved them deeply. I just thought I had forever to show it. I thought there would always be tomorrow. But tomorrow never came.
My parents weren't perfect. They reminded me to study, asked where I was going, told me to eat, to rest, to call them back. And like any kid, I rolled my eyes, shut my bedroom door, and thought, they'll always be here. As I grew older, I got busier. Friends, work, endless plans. Mom's calls felt like interruptions. Dad's advice felt outdated. So I said, maybe tomorrow, Mom. Maybe later, Dad. But tomorrow kept moving further away. I remember sitting at dinner, scrolling through my phone, barely tasting the food Mom made with care. I remember Dad asking if I needed gas money, and me brushing him off, saying I was fine. In reality, I thought their concern was overbearing, but now I see it was their way of loving. There were weekends when they waited for me to come home, meals that went cold on the table, and voicemails that piled up, each one softer, each one lonelier. Still, I told myself, I'll visit soon. I'll sit with them someday. But that someday was always postponed, hidden behind deadlines, parties, and promises I made to everyone except them. Looking back, I realized the cruel truth. They weren't asking for much, just a little time, just a little presence, just to hear me say the words that never left my lips.
And then, one morning, everything stopped. It was sudden, a phone call I never expected. My dad was gone. No warning, no goodbye. I remember standing frozen, phone in hand, wishing, begging for just one more chance. One more dinner, one more hug, one chance to say the words I never said. The world around me blurred. The voices on the phone turned into static. All I could hear was the pounding of my heart and the echo of silence in my chest. I dropped to the floor, the phone slipping from my hand, as if letting go could erase the truth I had just heard. The house suddenly felt emptier than ever. The chair where Dad used to sit looked abandoned. The light in the living room now unbearably dim. I walked into his room, searching for something, anything that still carried his presence. His jacket still hung by the door, his shoes neatly lined up, waiting for a walk that would never come. Memories flooded in, uninvited and merciless. The nights he waited up, the mornings he drove me to school in the rain, the quiet sacrifices he never complained about. Each memory felt like a blade, cutting deeper, reminding me of everything I had left unsaid. And then came the hospital. The sterile white halls, the smell of antiseptic, the cold buzz of fluorescent lights. I remember standing outside the room, staring at the empty bed. The monitor was silent. The wires were gone. It was as if the room itself had already forgotten him. But I couldn't. I pressed my hand against the bed rail, tears blurring my vision. This was where I should have been earlier. This was where I should have said the words I always thought I had time to say. I love you, Dad. 3 words, 3 seconds, and yet I never gave them to him. I thought love could be assumed, that they would just know. But love unspoken is love unfelt. And now, no matter how loudly I cry it into the empty air, it will never reach him. That's the cruelest part of regret. It doesn't just remind you of what you lost, it reminds you of what you never gave. I replayed every memory. The nights Mom stayed awake waiting for me. The mornings Dad drove me to school, even when he was exhausted. The quiet ways they showed love without ever asking for anything in return. And it hit me. The words, "I love you," aren't just for them. They're for us. Because when they're gone, those words are all we wish we had said. I used to think love was obvious, that actions were enough. A meal cooked, a ride to school, a door quietly left unlocked so I could sneak back in late at night. But now, I realize actions can fade from memory. Words linger. Words live on. When I hold an old photograph, I don't just see my parents' faces. I hear their voices. I hear the way Mom laughed when I told her a bad joke. I hear Dad calling my name across the field when I was too afraid to take the next step. And I wonder, did they ever hear it back from me? Did they know, without a doubt, how much I loved them? The truth is, I don't know. And that not knowing, that silence, is what haunts me. We grow up thinking we'll have time, that one day, after we succeed, after we've figured life out, we'll sit down and say, "Thank you, I love you." But life doesn't wait. Parents don't wait. They grow older every day, even as we're too busy to notice. And here's the message I wish I had learned sooner. Love is not meant to be postponed. Gratitude is not meant to be delayed. I love you is not just a phrase. It's a gift that takes 3 seconds to give but lasts forever in the heart of the one who receives it. If you're watching this, I want you to pause, just for a moment. Think about the last time you told your mom you love her. Think about the last time you hugged your dad and held on just a little longer. If you can't remember, maybe today is the day. Because I would give anything, for one more chance. Love louder, live deeper. Say it today, before tomorrow takes it away.
If this story touched your heart, don't just let it pass. Call your mom, hug your dad, say the words today while you still can. And if you believe more people need this reminder, subscribe, share this video, and help spread this message to someone who might need it tonight. I want you to imagine something. It's late at night. You're scrolling, maybe tired, maybe distracted. But tomorrow morning, you wake up to a phone call that changes everything. What would you wish you had done differently today? Would you wish you had called your mom back? Would you wish you had taken that short drive to visit your dad? Would you wish you had just said those 3 simple words? I love you. Life doesn't give us back the moments we waste, but it does give us this moment, right now. The chance to choose differently, the chance to speak, to love, to give. So pause this video for a second. Pick up your phone. Send that text. Make that call. Walk into the next room and hug the people who raised you. Because your words may be the very thing they've been waiting for all along. And here's the truth. This isn't just about your parents. It's about all of us. Every single one of us carries unspoken words, unsent messages, undone gestures. But when we choose to speak, when we choose to act, we create ripples that reach further than we know. That's why I'm asking you, don't just feel this story, share it. Because somewhere out there, someone is one I love you away from healing a broken relationship.
Someone is one phone call away from forgiving, from reconciling, from saving what might otherwise be lost. If this video reached you, if it stirred something inside you, subscribe. Join this community of people who want to live deeper, love louder, and remind the world what really matters. Because the truth is, it's not the views, it's not the numbers, it's the lives we touch. So tonight, as the screen fades to black, remember this. Your words have power. Your love has weight. And your actions, they can change everything. Don't wait for tomorrow. Say it now. Share it now. Because you never know who needs to hear it before it's too late.